Hey, folks, welcome to the Generational Gap. I am Robert, your resident Gen Xer, and right over there is the mighty John, your resident millennial. John, how are you doing this evening, John?
Actually, I'm fan fucking tastic tonight. We get a full on John fan fucking tastic.
Wow. So you had a
Yeah,
little bit of. Is that because you had a little bit of fun with Ed tonight?
yeah.
Ed gets you
We
all
got to
worked
spend
up,
some
doesn't he?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you haven't ever done it before, get over on Ed's channel, check it out. John was over there tonight talking his smack talk, his trademark smack talk that nobody
that's
else
right.
can. Well, actually, nobody else bothers to try and replicate. So, it's,
So therefore, they can't.
exactly, it's
Right,
unreplicatable, even if that's
correct.
not a word. Um, it's just it is what it is. Um,
Irreplicatable, perhaps.
I think I said what I wanted to say.
No, just say it
I,
could be.
I said I said what I wanted to say. Besides, what you're saying sounds too much like irrevocable.
This is a cool word too.
Hey, John, do you drink coffee ever?
Nope,
Ever?
nope.
Is it because you don't like the taste?
Yes,
So you go with the big gay reason.
right.
Gotcha. And is that across the board for all coffee?
Yeah. I've never found a coffee that I've liked, and I've only tried like maybe two or three. So
How about out there in the chat this evening? I see Jay Edgar lurking around out there, popping in, who is self-replicating, which is, I,
nice.
is that what you kids are calling it these days?
I'm self-reticulating,
He's
so there's
self-replicating
that.
into a tissue. So, what about you out there in the chat, hey, folks out there in the chat? Do you like coffee? And if you do you like it hot? Do you like it cold? How do you like your coffee? Are you a cold coffee drinker or a hot coffee drinker? The reason I'm asking is because apparently it was a study, studies.
Oh,
You got to love
a new
studies
study
about
suggests.
coffee preferences.
Hmm.
Here's one of the things: the differences between cold and hot coffee drinkers. Right?
Okay.
Cold coffee drinkers are generally 40% Gen Z are drinking cold coffees.
Okay.
57% of cold coffee drinkers are water or air zodiac signs, or 50% of water air zodiac
What?
signs. Yeah.
They
So
actually like
now
checked that?
hold on. Now I'm just saying I'm a Libra, which is an
Oh my God.
air sign, but I do prefer cold coffees. But I drink them both, and you'll see why in a moment. But I like I like an iced cafe mocha with a shot of caramel. It's pretty tasty, right? And I don't care if they put whipped cream on it. I'll walk out of a coffee shop with whipped cream on that coffee. I don't give a fuck. And the other thing for cold coffee drinkers, about 40% of they prefer sunny weather, right? Now, hot coffee drinkers are different. 94%. 94
Jesus.
94% of hot coffee drinkers are boomers, according to this.
I don't
uh,
think that's true.
49% are fire and earth zodiac signs.
Oh my God, that's
Right,
so
right.
stupid.
And then 36% enjoy overcast skies. Saint says John hates coffee for the same reason he's single. He doesn't like the taste. No.
Joke's on you. I'm not single.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, call it what it is. Tell the truth, John. She's a beard. You have two beards. I mean, let's be honest.
All right,
Uh,
fair enough.
uh, what do you think the most tried option for milk alternative is? If you're not going with milk, what is the most often? What type is most often
Uh,
tried by coffee drinkers of those
Cream?
of those? Yeah, think the fake milks,
Yeah.
plant-based milks, plant-based milks. Cream's not plant-based; it's dairy-based.
No, I know it's not plant-based.
So, of
Oh, of
plant-based
the
milks,
plant-based.
which one do you think is most often tried?
No coconut milk? I don't fucking know
Almond,
what.
the almond milk.
Almond
I think
is
because people think that almond is going to
a
add
little
flavor.
nuts.
Yeah, like they think it's going to add flavor. But so see, so you could almost qualify me as a boomer. But I say for the hot coffee, I have to have 2 cups of hot coffee in the morning, right? Got to have that. But
Whatever.
if I'm out, like I'll usually get an iced coffee. I like a cold coffee.
Probably has to do with the fact that you're in Florida,
It might
and
be.
so it's already hot as fuck outside
Now I
by 7 in the morning.
Now, if I go to Waffle House, no matter what time of the day, I will typically order at least 1 hot cup of Waffle House coffee. It's the only coffee I drink black. I love their blanket hot black coffee. Been drinking that for years. Don't need to add anything to it. Nothing. For some reason, it just trips my trigger. But I think it's just nostalgia. It's been there forever.
Yeah. Right.
But they have their own bean fields and stuff. It's their coffee. They don't fuck around.
Waffle House
Yeah,
does?
yeah. Waffle House makes a lot of their own shit.
No
Like their
shit.
paper goods and stuff. They're a self-sustaining entity. They have meat packing plant. They have the whole.
I never knew.
Yeah, tons of the stuff that you see at Waffle House, except the branded stuff like Heinz ketchup packets and bottles and stuff. But for the most part, most of the stuff that they're using, all the napkins and stuff, they have manufacturing and they're making that stuff.
All right.
Smart company.
Yeah.
Smart company.
Fair play to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here's another food-based question for you. What do you believe is the most commonly stolen food item in the world?
Commonly stolen?
The most commonly stolen food item in the world, whether it be from stores, whether it be from manufacturing sites, distributors, whatever, just across the board. What is the most commonly stolen? Now, ketchup well, think about ketchup packets. Those are kind of given out, right?
Yeah.
Those are just made publicly available. Think about something that you purchase, a food item that you would have to purchase, most commonly stolen worldwide.
Grapes.
No.
No?
This is going to surprise
Because
you.
everyone takes the little grape off the vine at the store. Everyone does that, right? Right, guys?
Well,
right? Everyone does that, right?
I always do testing.
Guys.
You test.
Yeah.
You got to test. People do that.
Right.
No, this might surprise you. The most commonly stolen item in the world, cheese. Cheese, and what skews that is that because like 4% of all cheese produced in a given year ends up stolen. 4% of cheese around the world. Now think about it, and I was like, okay, cheese, that sounds odd, right? But here, check this out. So think about it like this. Notable incidents of cheese theft include a 2-year operation running from 2014 to 2016 in which thieves operating in Italy's province of Reggio Emilia stole an estimated $7 million worth of Parmesan cheese. Because individual wheels of the cheese often sell for more than $500, and using that figure as a benchmark points to some 14,000 wheels pilfered in total. So a wheel of Parmesan cheese can sell for $500, which is going to be broken down and made into different forms, but whatever, and then that money will be tripled. But $500 for a wheel, and all you got to do is you go and pick yourself, steal some crates of cheese, these wheels,
you just roll it on out of the
right, and then you say, and then what they were doing was they were taking it to other places and selling it, third hand, saying cutting deals at restaurants, places like that for Parmesan.
Yeah, selling it for $300. Yeah.
Right, because they had no investment in it.
Right.
But large-scale producers are real theft. California, 2 guys had a small 2-year operation in which they wound up stealing $50,000 worth of mozzarella cheese from Leprino Foods. It's like, because apparently there's big money in the stolen cheese industry.
Yes, so yeah.
So cheese is
guys.
there it is.
Commit a crime. There's a very lucrative one. Right there, selling stolen cheese.
You think my humor's cheesy? Theft is cheesy. Theft is cheesy.
Theft is cheesy. Don't steal cheese. You wouldn't download a car. Don't steal cheese.
Okay, now I have something here that I wanted to, that I thought was interesting, and it has to do with AI. And I wanted to share this with you because, again, it was a curious thing that popped out at me. Have you ever heard of, what are they called? Multi-Nodal Neurons? Are you familiar with those?
Nope.
Okay, so these were discovered back in like the early 2000s, I think it was. And you're also aware that Elon Musk is currently working on a project called OpenAI, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's got it's basically it's referred to as CLIP. I forget what it stands for, but it's it's the thing. But anyway, so multimodal neurons were first discovered in our brains in 2005. And what it was basically single neurons could identify a common theme through clusters of abstract concepts delivered through sensory information. Paraphrasing layman's terms, basically, you know how a group of neurons work together to motor functions, to access information, to do this and that and the other. Well, these are single neurons that if you put different representations, whether it be the word or a picture or something associated that it's learned to associate with a thing, that single neuron basically locks onto that. So, for instance, say Spider-Man. So, if it sees a spider, if it sees the costume, if it sees the name, that node associates all those different things with one single thought, one memory, one, right? Okay. So what's been discovered is that this AI, now brace yourself, has developed multimodal neurons, has developed them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's kind of a little scary to think about, right? Okay, so it's advanced its mind enough to where it's got multimodal neurons going on. But it does make these associations. So the example with Spider-Man is one of the things that it does. It can see different representations, and it will link those things together as a memory. And if you show it, if you show it a picture of something, different, it won't associate. It's how we do with names, for instance. We put a name to a face, and then we see that face. We don't think the wrong name normally.
Right.
So the problem, though, is like they have kept this thing black boxed, right? Curated data, etc., to feed to this thing to try and keep the bulk of the internet from coloring it, because you've seen what AI can do whenever the internet throws its game at it and gets it and turns it racist and things like this, right? Do what? Oh, you're talking fancy people in the background. Gotcha.
Yeah. The dogs had to be let out of the room because they were both in here.
So even though it was trained on a curated subset of the internet, it still inherited biases, and I thought it was interesting that this points to to media, what we've talked about before about the propaganda in media and the things that are being put out there. And it for instance, they observed a Middle East neuron. Like there's a multimodal neuron. It's a Middle East neuron with an association with terrorism, and that it had an immigration neuron that responds to Latin American imagery and influence.
So wait, is it an American AI then?
It's Elon Musk doing.
One.
It's Elon.
Okay.
Well, think about how we talk about immigration. What has that immigration talk been for so long, right?
In the U.S., yeah. I'm saying
Right.
if it was like from the U.K.,
Well, sure.
immigration would go to the Middle East.
Right. It may. Right. Well, and that's why I say, I'm curious about this subset of data. If it was all Americanized or if it was global, that would make a difference too, I think. But it says they even found a neuron that fires for both dark-skinned people and gorillas. So. Like literally it's associating those two things, and all of that is coming like it mirrors, that's referencing earlier photo tagging incidents on other models that they considered unacceptable. So it began to make these negative associations as well. So even with controlled data, it's still it still winds up, I don't know, being human. It's like you take in all this information, you kind of like, these are associations you start to build in your head, right? But I thought it was interesting. It's like, okay, so as much as you want to try and keep it from having something like that going, but now here's the thing. Here's a little side note that's kind of funny. It can be screwed up with like a typographical attack. So, for instance, if you wrote iPod on an apple, it would recognize that apple as an iPod. Or if you took that same, if you put pizza on a stalk of celery, it would read pizza and it would determine that it was looking at pizza, because of the word, because it's looking for text initially, right, and it's going off of that, and so it could be faked out with typography that way. And I'm like,
Sure.
that seems like such a simple fucking thing to
It seems
to get
like it, but
screwed up
probably
on,
not.
right? Like,
Well, it seems like it, but it probably really isn't.
it's
It's
like,
kind of like when when they do those, like they'll type the word green, but the word will actually be in blue,
right.
and so yeah, and you're
But
like,
your
oh, this
immediate
green stuff.
association, right? But like it just,
Yeah,
and that's the thing is like, you've got to get it to that's where it falls away from being, its closeness to humanity, the human thinking, actual intelligence, is that it can be deceived that way and make a decision. I mean, that's so far. I mean, it's great that it's developing, right? But it still
yes.
makes some pretty stupid fucking mistakes. Um,
Well, I mean, yeah, we can.
I mean, we're along. If by this and like other things that have happened with AI, how easily it can be tricked by the internet, just a concerted attack from the internet. I'm like, maybe we're a
Yeah,
lot farther from AI than we actually think.
right.
But I did read something that a guy who's very good at predicting what Apple is getting ready, going to be doing. He says by 2030 through 2040, somewhere in that decade, they're going to be releasing AR contact lenses. That basically
Cool.
you can just put contact lenses in and have all your screen device stuff right there in your eyeball. That's a scary thought, right?
Mhm.
John, I'm going to take you through 10 steps of being high. Tell me if you recognize all these steps.
Okay, let's do
First,
it.
first step, the first step before the high. Your nose and mouth are typically the first to interact with the cannabis. Do you smell your weed before you smoke it?
Uh, like, do I actively like sniff it, or do I
Right.
just inhale the scent?
Uh,
Um,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think I normally. No,
Like you go and grab your bag. Do you smell it real good before you load a bowl?
no.
So this can help with your high because it's the initial. Because you know how like you smell food, you get hungry, right? So you build up anticipation so that the receptors kick in stronger. Eh,
Right, right.
think on it. First step. Then the first sign of a high. Once you start hitting it, do you like? Have you noticed? Have you ever noticed that very first little bit of your high, like
Mhm.
when you first feel it kicking in? Because sometimes that goes really fast, right through 2, 3, and 4. Because
Yeah.
there's like the cresting the high. Like, do you ever sit and watch the slope up from just getting high to like really getting ripped?
Mm-hmm.
Like full on blaze. So that's 2, 3 through 4 is like when you get that first sensation, then all the way up to 4 where you're fully blazing, right?
Right.
But then there's tension, right? The tension starts to build at step 5, and says as your body's readjusting with THC in its system, you start to feel like that tug between gravity and ascension, right? Like, am I
Yeah.
going to float away first, right? So they say, have yourself a pre-activity plan. Back in that first step, when you're just smelling the weed, think of something you're going to do. So when you start hitting that
Yeah.
tension moment, have an activity that you're going to do, or go sit in a bath, or do something just to grab a game, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
Have something planned for that. And then there's reaching the peak. Once you've really reached that point where you're just kind of you're writing, and the focus might be produce wild creativity, euphoric strains. They say that this is when you should really let yourself loose with your mind and start having those crazy thoughts. Like you want to be aware of when you're at this point, so you can like
Yeah.
do those creative things that you want to think about and imagine, and maybe even try attempt to write them down or something like that,
Right.
right? Because there's
Then you
that
gotta
point.
remember to write them down though.
Right.
That's the problem.
Then your high levels off. He says this is when you start to feel like this is when you're going to be attacked by the munchies, right? This is when you
Oh
should have
no.
those munchies prepared, ready to go, so you get them in your system, that kind of thing. And the THC is starting to pan out and is starting to dilute into your system, right?
Hmm.
But this is uh, during this stage, leaning into whatever activity you were doing, right? Just like
Hmm.
really get into it, and go play that video game hard, or I don't know how much you can lean into a bath. I mean, it's just like if I
Right.
lean into the bath too much, I'm just going to sleep and I'm going to drown. Right?
Right.
Then they have the cool down. the vacuum, as the THC slowly dissipates. For most of us, they say this is whenever this is the break, the crossroads. Either you start a new session,
Right.
you go back to step one,
Or you
or
go to sleep.
or you move on into decompression, which is stage 9, where you just really just come down from the whole thing, and then evaporation and tranquility. You go fucking take a nap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I don't know. Do you get high like that anymore? Do you have the? I
Not
don't know.
anymore.
Do you?
That was like, that's like when you first start. You know what I mean? You're like excited about it. You know what I mean? Like you get a little high, you giggle. That's back when you're still using Visine.
Right? Like when you still care that people saw
Right.
you.
Right.
Oh, hey. So I thought we've got some videos to share, and I happened to see a couple of these while I was roaming the news, and I just thought it was funny. So found this, and I'm a dad, and I have daughter, so I get it. But I thought this was kind of funny. Just listen along and see if you think this is great to do to your kid or not.
Hang on a second.
No,
Is it gonna play a copyrighted song?
No.
Okay, because I was reading the thing down below, so I was making sure that it's not. Okay.
I didn't hear anything whenever I.
Okay.
Let's find out.
He's cute. Look.
Mom, stop. 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 Go. Stop. Mom.
That is hilarious.
I have to sit here now.
He's cute.
I have to sit here now. I
That
have
is
to sit.
hilarious.
Right?
Oh
Oh,
my god.
I'm just like, yeah, you got to do that. Sorry, you
That
just
was-
got to do
that
that
was-
sometimes. You just got to
That was
do that.
incredible.
Have
That
you
was
seen?
Incredible.
Have you seen anybody do this prank?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. May not be the best idea sometimes.
No, not too Hispanic mother shit.
And
No.
I'm gonna make time for you. She coming right now. She coming.
Hold on, let me back that up.
Now. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna make time for you. She coming right now. She coming.
Okay, your friend got some explaining to do. What? He on the phone with some girl talking about he want to make time for her and that she coming. He got to get off the phone. Why he got to get off the phone?
Denise,
Why
you think I'll do that?
No,
Come
but
on,
like,
man.
why would you get off the phone when
Tryna
I'm
break
coming?
it
Boy,
up.
don't play with
You
me.
tryna break it
I
up.
would jump to this back seat on you. I'm from Fifth Ward. I do not play that shit. Now, what you not gonna do is lie. Get the phone and check it out.
What did you
No,
do?
Denise,
Give me your
I don't
phone.
have-
Give me your phone.
She's
No, she
lying.
not lying.
Why would
She
I
would
lie? My mom would not lie. Like,
Lying.
what did you do?
Lying.
What you was on the phone with?
Deal with
Nobody.
it. Deal with it.
My
Let me
pastor,
Deal with
my,
it.
pa-
Let me
listen,
see.
my pastor wife called me.
Let
and he
Pastor
said-
Wife.
Yeah, she called me and was saying that we now. And
The pastor's wife, right?
she was just letting me know I had choir
He
practice.
want to keep
man.
lying on the pastor wife.
No,
I can't do it.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no, get your mama, get your mama. Get your mama. Please, She was just letting me know I had choir
He
practice.
want to keep
man.
lying.
Mama, it's a prank. Mama, it's a
She's
prank.
just busting out laughing.
She's like,
She just straight up pulled him out of the.
I'm from Fifth Ward. You handle it. Handle
Yes,
it.
you. Yep.
Handle it.
That's fucking awesome. Hell yeah.
Right?
That's some quality shit right there.
So, just a note to self, John. Seeing as how you're in a, you got yourself a girlfriend. Don't
Yeah.
ever play no pranks on her
Mm-mm.
folks.
No, not like that at least. No.
Yeah, I don't know which is worse, play the prank on the father or the mother. I know how I'd be. I'm like,
Right?
oh, hold on a minute. Just let me get the gun loaded.
Just want to talk to him.
Is it in the
Just-
glove box? Is it in the? You're right. That's my favorite. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him.
When you're loading the gun, I just want to talk to him.
Why are you sharpening that knife, Dad? I just want to talk to him. Have you seen this one? This is cute and adorable.
It is. I have not, no.
Yeah. Oh, this is funny.
Have a good time?
Yes. I got you something.
What do you mean you got me something?
I did. What's up?
Watch this kid.
Bourbon. Yeah?
Why?
Because I know you like bourbon.
Josh, you can't just take. I mean, I do like it, but you can't just take it from him.
But do you like it?
Have a good time?
Yes.
That kid is fucking awesome, dude.
Now,
That's my favorite kid ever now.
now turn around, and the dad apologized to him, and he's like, I don't, he was just trying to be nice to me. I don't know why. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And then he kind of ends it. I don't know why the whole thing is on here, but he kind of ends it with like, but on another note, why is my kid that you're babysitting able to go and get a full bottle of bourbon and stow it away in his backpack while he's under your care? Maybe we should talk about it.
That's funny.
But I got bourbon. I just love it. Bourbon. Bourbon.
So he's so excited, so proud of himself.
Right? What do you mean I can't just take it? It was there and you like it. I love kids' logic, right?
Totally makes sense.
This is that moment where you've got it. You've got the bomb moment and somebody got to fuck it up, right?
You got shitty friends.
Shitty friends. Here's shitty friends.
It's going good. You got my two chickens? Yeah. Appreciate it. Hey, appreciate it. Hey, you forgot the tip. Tip of this penis. Ah! Drive off. Drive off. Bro, drive off.
Oh, just like folding ostriches.
They loved it too. We ain't drive off. Drive off. You're supposed to drive off.
It's like, man, drive off.
Drive off. You just ruined my moment. That's like that really bad, like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen to everybody. You're pissed off and you go storming out the fucking house. And you know damn well you forgot your goddamn car keys. You're like, God, I got to go. Or your wallet or something. You got to go back in. It'll happen to you once. And then you'll learn. Keep all that shit somewhere outside the house. Something.
Yeah.
Now, John, I noticed that you posted this because you're giving in to your inner child.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm gonna preface this whole video by saying that there is nothing funnier than inappropriate farts. Like, I'm sorry, there's just nothing funnier on this earth.
Hold on.
Or in heaven.
Now, when you say inappropriate,
inappropriate farts.
Are there appropriate farts?
Yeah, of course. Everyone's got a fart, right? Everyone farts. You got to.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
There are people that have gone their entire lives with never farted.
Not true. Well,
that they know
they're
sleeping. They might fart while they're sleeping, but not while they're awake.
When you're sleeping, yeah.
So it doesn't count when you're asleep.
It does.
No.
But no, you'll spontaneously combust if you don't let your farts rip.
Farts don't count when you're sleeping. That's nocturnal emission. That's not a fart. That's a nocturnal emission.
Is that what it is?
That's pressure release valve. That's
is,
all that is. I mean,
yeah.
That's cooking.
Did you just fart in here? Oh my!
She did it on purpose. She's filming it.
Yeah, no.
Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Morgan! God almighty, you've got to quit. You're going to make me throw up.
No, you don't roll yours.
Morgan.
Don't roll your side down. You roll her side down.
What the hell?
Right, draw it all past your nose.
Yeah, like you did to yourself. It's got a bit of a twist.
$20.
Come on, baby.
Let me see what you got, why?
Ready?
Say you go hit it one time, or?
One time.
Get it off. Get it off. Scores the shit out of him.
This one shouldn't count. Real fart.
Huge shit.
That's a good one, eh? They're in Canada, I take it.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's amazing.
How you feeling?
My butthole hurts. Listen.
You just had a colonoscopy.
Oh no, don't show the.
Oh my god, I can't.
He's so proud of himself. You gonna pause it real quick?
Ed?
It says, it says, I subbed to this channel because of deep philosophical content. I don't know what you're talking. This is the deepest philosophical. It comes from as far inward as possible, and then it goes windward. It's from inward.
This is
to
just to
windward.
show you that philosophy is full of shit.
That's right. Philosophy is largely full of shit.
There it is. There it is.
Yes!
Oh, the cat?
Yeah.
God! Stop farting! Oh, my lord! Ugh. You're really pissing me off.
Oh no.
Listen, fair play to her. She can do it though. Like she got up there. Fair enough.
Cold sweat, I added believer.
No.
The unifarter.
That's a little sister. Has never done that before. Tell me someone who's never done that before. You can hear all his joints cracking and stuff.
You're using your arms for support, but not to struggle against the pelvis.
Okay, I have to share this. My 3-year-old granddaughter did that about a week and a half ago. She said, "Grandpa, listen to this." And she just leaned over and I think I got a good 5 count on it. I'm like, John, what did you do? What did you eat?
Oh my goodness. You guys about 15 minutes.
Round 2. Harley's all peaceful and quiet, and I gotta blow a fart real bad.
And Doc gets like, motherfucker.
Alexa, can you give me a fart?
That was a power
This
move.
is
Try asking me to fart 17 times in a row. Or say random.
Alexa, can you fart 17 times in a row?
17 farts coming in a row.
17 parts coming in. Oh no.
I can't go that far. Come closer. Blue 32.
Oh, come on. That was so staged.
More like round 32. Oh.
That was so staged.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
What is it?
I don't know, man, but I gotta throw a big fart, man, and my stomach hurts.
That's funny shit.
Oh, man, that was good.
Yeah. Nobody likes fart jokes, John. Good
Oh,
God.
they're the best. Are you kidding me? They're the
Nobody
funniest
likes
thing.
fart jokes.
Heaven and on earth. Farts are the funniest thing.
No, not always.
Yes, always.
John, we have to
Especially
remember
when it's inappropriate.
whenever we talk about farts, we must always remember the fallen, those who
All the
who made the
girlfriends and
attempt.
wives who have fallen.
No, those poor bastards who make the attempt to let out a
yes.
really great fart, and they result in the shart.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Those
moment of
poor
silence.
bastards. F in the
That's-
chat.
Sometimes that makes it funnier though.
Not for the sharter. Not for the sharter, John.
No, but that's what makes it funnier for everyone else around him.
F in the chat
See,
for the sharter. F in the
That's
chat
where
for the
the
sharter.
comedy comes in, right? Because when you fart, it's supposed to be a joke on everybody else. But then when you shart, it becomes a joke on you, and everyone gets to laugh at your expense instead of the other way around. It's a gamble every time.
Right. See, and that's
It's worth that roll of the dice, you know.
so the fallen are the
Yes.
the ones that we should remember in these moments. But anyway, that was fun. I we can. I think we're unless you do you have any funny, humorous words of wisdom to share with us, John? Anything that's happened this week that you thought it would be insightful to share with us?
Not at the top.
Bring a smile to our face? Nothing? Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. Here's a funny moment. Kids. I love kids, right? I love my grandchild. She's so funny. 3 months ago, she had some puffy stickers. Rockets, ships, planets, aliens, it's just some fun stuff. And she had stuck a bunch of them on the wall. Well, they had all gone away except for one, which was still sitting on the wall. A couple of nights ago, she goes over and she pulls it off the wall where it was sticking. And I was being silly, and I'm like, oh, did you do that? You took it off the wall? And she turns around, and I don't know why. She says, Grandpa, the party's over. Just walked off and threw the sticker away. I'm like, where in the fuck did that come from?
It was over, man.
Grandpa, the party's over.
That's right. The gag has outlived its usefulness. Oh,
and
God,
she'll whip out these things. Like recently, she started doing this to us. We don't do that to her.
Right. She I think something she's watching.
And I think she picked it up off of like one of the Disney movies. I think she might have seen it in one of those. She's
probably
Kids do and say the darndest things. I'm just saying they're hilarious. The problem is you can never catch them. I think I'm going to get a pair of glasses that are the little video glasses that I can wear, and I could just, so I can, maybe catch some of those moments, because, I mean, those are the ones that you want to have, because it's like, all I can do is tell the story. I can't show the story.
Right.
But anyway. All right, so let's wrap this up, folks. We've had a few folks tonight, mostly quiet folks, watching the hilarity, watching the fun, watching the excitement that is filling the gap.
And I get it. It's kind of hard to participate, in this, other than like the odd comment, because we're not really talking about a topic, right?
Right. I mean, it's just we're just trying to bring some humor, But whatever, if we're the television in your background, I'm okay with that too. As long as you're letting us into your life and allow us a chance to destroy it. It's fine with me. But anyway, so do appreciate everybody showing up tonight. John, if you could direct these folks to where they can find us, and let's wrap this big old thing up.
Yes, down in our description, we have all of our links to all of our stuff. We got our Twitter, which is at the GenCapP. Got our Discord server, which is a lot of fun, so make sure you go in there and check it out. You also get your notifications most days. I blame Ed for me not doing it today. But yeah, most of the time you get notifications, even if YouTube decides not to send you a notification. You'll get it on Discord. And we got our subscribe star. So if you like us and you want to give us some money, you can do that there. And you can also pick one of the perks to get, which is a lot of fun. So you're not just going to give us money for nothing. And yeah, I'm not going to do the chicks for free bit, though. But yeah, you can give us money there. And then we're on Gilded. We're on Gilded with the Freedom Scoop group. So if you prefer Gilded instead of Discord, you can go there. Or if you like both, you can go there. If you like Freedom Scoop as a whole, go to Gilded, like I said. And yeah, I think that's all we have.
Oh.
Yeah, make sure you do that stuff.
Yeah, and hey, I wanted to mention something. I thought this was kind of neat. The power of, just the power of this being out there. I have a half sister that I haven't talked to in years, because you know how I am with family and my relations there. I just kind of, I'm horrible about keeping those relationships up, and we haven't seen each other for decades, talked to each other, anything. A week ago, a comment on our show, I just happened to be glancing through some stuff and looking at comments, and it's a comment from a week ago. It's my half sister came across the show and left a comment that, and I know it's her. I know it's real, because you can't miss the name, right?
Right.
Because her name's Caron, because my stepmother's name was Carol, my dad's name's John. They blended them together, got Caron, So, it's a very particular spelling. You don't get that wrong. And plus, But anyway, I just thought it was really neat. And so I've reached out to her on her YouTube account and, left a comment. I don't know any other way to reach somebody on their YouTube account. But I just thought that was kind of cool. I'm like,
well, a lot of the times there'll be an email address attached.
Maybe. I didn't see one, but...
Actually, no. Whatever her name is on there, that should be her email address.
Oh, really?
You use a Gmail account to make a YouTube account.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so it should be.
Well, potentially, yeah, if it's... depending on how basic it is. I know mine is, what I've used, and that it doesn't necessarily... because it could be initials and then the last name or... first name and then initial. There's all sorts of ways you can set up a Gmail account. But anyway, no, I just thought it was kind of cool. That's the second relative in like the last 3 months that I've come in contact with. Blast from the past, decades of not talking to them. It's like really weird.
Show or just her?
No, this one through the show. The other one through Facebook actually.
Really?
Just being on Facebook and having a presence there she reached out to me, my aunt / sister. You figure it out. But anyway. No. Adoption. It's adoption. It's purely adoption, not hillbilly adoption. All right, we're going to get the hell out of here. We'll be back on, we're going to be coming at you Wednesday night for an episode of Shooting the Shit. Got some stuff. It's going to be, I think what I'm going to do for Shooting the Shit this week is I've got some random stuff. Some random news things that have been happening. Just little things like, it's just some random... Some of it's off the wall stuff. Some of it's Karen bullshits. You know how it is. Some of it will make you laugh. Some will make you cry. Some will make you wonder why. But that'll be at 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday. We'll also be back again on Friday at 8:30 p.m. for our regular episode. I don't have it in stone yet, but I think we're going to try and get Mr. Behavior, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, I think is what I'm going to shoot for, John. So just mentioning that, try and get Mr. Behavior back here to have a short discussion about something that we touched on in our Friday show, but I want to talk about it a little more and really, because...
Does he know that yet?
No, that's what I'm shooting for. I'm just, okay. I'm going to reach out to him tomorrow.
Gotcha.
That's over a week's notice, so deal with it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Hey, you know what? I'm laying down the gauntlet, so publicly, so that he has to answer.
Right. Show up or you're a coward.
Right.
Mr. Behavior.
But we'll be back. As I said, we'll be back on Friday at 8:30 p.m. Please check out last Friday's show. It was a really good show. It was a good conversation. I want to say that it was a good representation of what a conversation should be about some serious topics, right? I mean,
how normal humans talk.
Humans discuss things, right? Humans. All right, and of course we'll also be back a week from now for another episode of Filling the Gap at 9:30 p.m. on Monday, barring any crazy situations. But all of those times are the Eastern Time Zone, the one and only true time zone, not to be confused with those of you who are posers out there. Do remember next weekend is when time changes for those of you who do or don't observe it. But our time is going to be springing forward, John. Get ready for that. We're going to be springing forward. Have longer days.
Was that the one that lets me sleep in more? The one that robs me of my sleep? I think that's the one that lets me sleep in more.
You lose an hour of sleep in the spring because when it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you spring forward to 3 o'clock. You lose that hour.
Right.
Right. Yeah. But
lame.
With the fantastic level of technology we have these days, you don't even notice it because while you're sleeping, your time changes. And all you have to do is set an alarm that morning for a certain time. Set it for 8 o'clock before the time change. And when the time changes, it'll wake you up at 8 o'clock, bringing you into the new time change seamlessly. Right? Think about it. It works perfectly, but you got to set the alarm before the time change and go to bed before the time change.
Well, yeah.
And that's 2 o'clock in the morning is when it normally happens, so you're good there.
Right.
Just go to bed before the time change with an alarm set, and it will wake you up adjusted to the new time change.
Sure.
Hey, I'm not. It's not patented. I'm not a doctor. but I am a fan.
This
But
is-
I'm a fan of this stock. I'm just saying.
Right. We like the stock, guys. We just like the stock.
All right, we just like the stock. All right, we're gonna get the hell out of here. Thanks for stopping by, John. Thanks, folks, for joining us. Hit that like button on your way out if you haven't already. Peace out, everyone.
I'll see you guys.
The war will begin.